First thing on the list is minutes from the last meeting. Cindy's not here. I do have a copy that she kind of emailed me that was, I just have it in my hands here, but I'll do it. Well, that's terrible. I don't just have it in my hands. Some of the notes, I don't think it was a 50 minutes, but some of the notes are some of the things that we discussed. Maybe took back there. Yep, there we go. Sorry. I'll just make a reading if you would like. Since that's his own copy of it, I figured she'd bring copies. Chairman Dave Kimball called the meeting to order. Well, first of all, the attendees were Dave Kimball and Cindy Dodson. There's nobody from the public. Cindy made a motion to approve them, and they were accepted. Dave inquired whether Carrie and or Cindy had gone to the bank to update their information on the bank account. Cindy had not, but would do so before the next meeting. Dave shared the flyer depicting a few changes made over the last month's version. That's this flyer. I'll talk about it a little later. It's a handout to the public. Cindy made a motion that Dave pursue having copies printed for distribution for our initial community forum. Dave seconded. They made a motion that our first community forum be held in the Miletus community. Cindy seconded. Since there's only two of us, we got to necessarily make a motion. Dave's going to contact Kenny Davis and schedule the suggested church in the area. He also calls on to schedule use of their projector and screen. Zon also said she would help make copies of the flyer. Dave will let Cindy and Carrie know when the meeting is scheduled, with a goal to have the initial meeting in April. Cindy has made a copy of a 2000 engineering plan that we were talking about there. For Daughters County is requested and provided today. Dave now returned the original. Cindy communicated that she had made some headway researching the rules for meeting and would share prior to the next meeting for comments. Dave mentioned that the County Commission required a quarterly update related to the PSD progress. Dave will communicate to whose attention the update will be sent. The meeting was open for public comments since no one was here. We didn't have any. Cindy made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Dave seconded. The meeting was adjourned. That's basically it. Okay, a motion to accept it?
I move we accept the minutes as read.
That's basically what we did, and whatever she said, like just, but, okay. I'll second it. So we'll consider them approved. Financial report. Financial report is going to be turned over to you after this meeting, but right now I'll handle it. We got our initial $10,000 in the bank that we received from the county commission. There's been no checks, there's been nothing written on it, so the full $10,000 is still sitting there in the bank. So financially, we do have some money. Okay, Cindy's not here. On the old business, establish procedures for conducting a meeting. I think what she's trying to do is going to try to come up with some bylaws and some things that we can follow and get published and make it formal so everybody will know we'll be on the same page of what we're doing. She had it pretty well along last time, but she just had a few more things that she wanted to check out. And so, but since she's not here, we'll have to table that till next meeting. Checking account. Okay. I went to the bank and deposited or opened the checking account, and I put my name on it. You're going to have to go and put your name on it. Right now I'm told to use my address since we have no formal address for anything. I think the first statement kind of got misplaced and they sent it to the county commission and somebody says this is the wrong address, and so it finally ended up coming after me. But I've got 2 statements so far, and they're both $14,000. They also need Cindy, and she was going to go to the bank, and I hope that she got down there. But they needed both of you to come in. Since she's the secretary, they needed her for something. We had just a slight problem when we went to open the account. They needed, I guess, a PIN number or a tax number or something. I didn't have one. Come to find out, we've never been set up with the Public Service District has never been set up with the Secretary of State's office. County Commission didn't do it. So I checked with one of the commissioners, and I'm actually using since we are a government entity and we have been informed by them, but on a temporary basis, in order to get our checking account open, we're using their number. We're not buying anything or anything, but we're using their number. But I have an accountant in North Fort that's working on getting us set up with the Secretary of State, doing the work that we need. It's going to cost us $106 to get the paperwork through. And there'll probably be a charge by the Secretary of State. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll be there. She said probably $100. I talked to her last Friday, so I emailed her 2 or 3 times, and I didn't get any answer back. And come to find out, my email wasn't sending anything, but receiving, but it wasn't sending anything. So I set up a new email account on a different computer, and I finally got hold of it. I went and saw it on my tax, and so they're willing to handle it. And they said $106 is what it would cost. So that sounds fair to the Jenny setup. So that's where we stand on our checking account. When we get ready to, or when they get that done, well, then we'll have to write a check. Here are some checks that they gave us. They were supposed to send us some with their name on it, a box. I haven't received them. They may have gone up to the county commission's office there too, so I don't know. But I'm just not wondering what they were. This is the paper. So you need to get into the West End Bank and get that taken care of. So I'm dropping that in your hands, and I'll go ahead and coordinate with the accountant if you want. And let you know once we get that done. We had a big discussion over the last couple of meetings of where our first project should be. I don't want to delay. We've been delayed, and I don't want to delay anymore. We looked at the 3 areas that they talked about in the water study. We're farther along on the Molitas, and that's what they recommended. But we're so far along compared to the others that the Cindy and I decided that would be our goal to pursue that one first. And that would be the site of our first community forum. And we would try to collect the signatures and everything. So that's why we're kind of waiting. I was trying to get information from. I met with Kenny Davis. He was going to talk to the church. They have an annex out there, and the guys. There's really not too many places to hold a meeting out in that area. And he was going to set up 2 dates for us, one during the week and one on the weekend, so to try to get the people in the area to be able to come into it. And then we'll also go around the rest of the county. But we'd like to get signatures there first so we can go ahead and start working on the project. The reason we selected that was 2 things. Warner Brothers has already done an engineering study, knows pretty well what things are going to cost. The commission evidently paid for that, so that's already done. There is water readily available to hook into. I've already checked with Sun Valley to make sure that they had sufficient water, that they can provide us with enough water to cover that area. They assured me that they did have, that we could actually hook onto it on the Hall's Run. We wouldn't even have to go into sail and put sail in the middle of it. We could hook right straight onto Sun Valley, just across the hill there, and right in the head of the Hall's Run up there, the Lake Floyd. That they had plenty of water, plenty of pressure. So, said all we have to do is, once our plan is finalized, to go with their engineer and make sure he knows what's going on. So that's a verbal commitment. There's nothing in writing or anything like that, but that is a verbal commitment. So based on that information, and actually that's one of the most densely populated rural areas that we have out there. That's approximately 340 customers, potential customers in that area. So if we get that one in, that'll give us some paying customers and get us moving. So I don't know. I haven't. I've tried to call Kenny. He's a hard guy to get hold of. Kenny Davis is. But I want to get that set up, and I've got our PowerPoint presentation finished. I have our handouts done, and I'm kind of talking about 2 or 3 different things on the agenda here at the same time. Looks like. Well, that Joe Light was a project. A guy called me and he's talking about putting some public housing in someplace. We've talked about that before, probably. But I haven't heard any more from him. I don't know what's going on. Another one that we already have an engineering study done on is a short one from Central Station, tie onto that, run it down to where Friendly Homes, and maybe pick up Sun Valley. But that would give us some economic development or possibility in that area out there. But it wouldn't give us too many paying customers. I think we need to get some customers on board, So. But everything looked, I've heard, I probably shouldn't even mention this, but I've heard, well, Amy Swan lives out there. Amy Swan had absolutely nothing to do with making that decision. And Cindy and I made one because I've never talked to Amy Swan. I have no idea how Amy Swan, she may not even want water, I don't know, but that had nothing to do with it. But I have heard that mentioned, and that's, I want to assure everybody, and you guys, that if you hear, that's not the case. That had absolutely nothing to do with it.
We're at Central Station, the Trinity Homes?
That's, no, the Melias.
Oh,
Melias area.
okay.
She has, I think she has a place out there. I know that's where she's from originally, I think, in the Melias area. But I've heard that through the grapevine,
Could I ask a question here?
Pardon?
Could I ask a question?
Sure.
Who's going to pay for this water installation?
Okay. Water installation is going to be, the initial money will come from loans and grants. Let me get one of our handouts here. This is a handout I've made to hand out to the public. This is what we're going to do as we go around and visit the community. And this is a good chance to get going around here so we can see what's going on.
That's in the documents that her cat, there's not paid for that in his documents.
Yeah, both sides on that's got information on that. But the funding will come from a combination of probably grants and loans. grants is just what the name it'll just be a grant. Loans will be low interest. You have probably no interest loans. Maybe even forgivable loans. They have those available also. What they will do is they will look at how many people you're going to serve, what the cost is going to be, what utility bills, they don't want a water bill to be clear out of sight. So it'll be a combination of grants, low interest, 40-year loans, and possibly some forgivable loans. They make you the loan, but you just don't have to pay it back.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Who will be writing your grants?
That will be, there is an organization that's called the, let me think for a minute. It's Infrastructure and Jobs Development Council. And what we do is when we get our package together, what we want to do and everything, we send it to them. And then they will go looking for the grants and getting the money for us. Once that's accomplished, once they locate the grants and get all that done, then it will go to the Public Service Commission for approval.
Are these the same grants that was to be applied for to get the water out to the park?
Probably. It may not be. No. There was grants from different sources. Most of these grants will probably come from the USDA.
Well, wasn't that also put up out there and everything done to where we could get water to the park?
Well, what they look for on a grant for whoever they went to had some restrictions on their grants. Their restriction was you had to have low income people or something along. That's why it never got approved. Is that true?
Yeah. People had their incomes, of
Now,
course,
this is what I hear.
average out that way, out Snowbird, the income was too high.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't that
Process.
also set up to where all they had to do was get the money and start running the line?
Probably was. I don't know. I had nothing to do with that. I had nothing to do. I don't know if the commission did that.
That was the commission.
Someone, to tell you the truth, didn't look at the criteria for successful grant competition. They probably would have been able to understand that the incomes were too high to support this. And I can't remember whether that was in the
And it's probably where they went for their grants, where they applied to, what their requirements were.
Right.
But I attended three days of training with the Public Service Commission, and they talked about grants and the process that you went through and what you're going to have to do. And there was never anything said about income level. It was just how many people can you serve?
With the additional property onto the 4-H grounds and the possibility of developing something there that they're talking about doing, would it not be a good idea to see if you can get that?
Yes, yeah, I think we'll do that. I don't think there's anything, I've never heard of anything that says we can't pursue two projects at the same time.
That is currently a project in that plan. Yeah.
This one here.
Yeah, it's one of the last projects. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing said that we can't, we may pursue all three of them. One, getting since we already got the engineering drawing and everything on that one, getting water down to Sunnyside, that's, but the big one will be out there, We were looking at and that's one that we need to get signatures, people to say, yes, not necessarily we're going to sign up for water, but we are interested in getting water everywhere. Because everybody will benefit whether they sign up for it or not. They'll have fire hydrants, they'll have fire protection, they'll have a lot of stuff down there. Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions, please just go ahead and ask me.
Where is, you mind, excuse me, I'm sitting here just talking. Joe, where is he proposing to put in public housing? Joe Layton.
He looked at 2 or 3 different places. He was talking about, I think, across 50 here maybe. He looked up. Well, the old state police building was up that hall there ways.
Jockey camp.
Huh?
Jockey camp.
Yeah, jockey camp, right? And there was someplace else he looked. He talked about 3 or 4 different locations, you know.
Now, is he from Doddridge County or is he from Bridgeport?
He was in Bridgeport. I don't know if that's where he's from or not, but that was had a Bridgeport number when I talked to him. I think it was the same guy here a while back that was talking about putting public housing in the Townsend Stadium and he turned it down, I think. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I remember. If he's the one that was proposing to put over in Wabash, it was a great hue and cry.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.